we had a major announcement in the MMA world of a super fight between Mario Pudzianowski and Eddie Hall. Mario Pudzianowski, former five-time world strongest man and a actual professional MMA fighter, and then Eddie Hall obviously won it in 2017, won the Britain, UK, the European titles, all that stuff. So I'm gonna go through this fight, give you my thoughts, give you some of the things that I think each fighter needs to do to have success in this fight. But without further ado, let's get into it. Come on here. So it's at KSW 105. It's a Polish MMA organization founded in 2004. One of the biggest European organizations out there. And that is in part to Mariusz Pudzianowski. And it will take place April 26th. So this month, at the end of this month, we'll see. They've been talking about this fight for years now. I can honestly remember ever since I did Hall retired after winning World's Strongest Man. He's been wanting this fight. Now, taking a look at Mario Pudzianowski, he's 48 years old, and now that's really gonna stand out, especially in a MMA fight. Five-time World's Strongest Man, he dominated the 2000s when it came to strongman competitions. Like he was outdoing people in certain events by like triple the time or, by an insane weight or reps. But looking at his MMA record, 17 and 9, 9 KOs, three submissions, five, yeah, five decisions, yeah, five decisions. Good lord. Now, he's coming off for two big losses. One against Arthur uh, Spilka, if that's how you say it. But he's 2-0 in MMA, 24-5 in boxing. It was a brutal knockout. It happened, I believe, last year. And then before that, he got knocked out by Mamed Khalidov. Not really good when you're going into a fight and you're 48 and you've been finished in your last two fights. But it's been nearly 2 years since the Arthur fight, the Muhammad fight was in 2023, I believe. But he also has fairly recent knockout wins against Michael Matera and Usman Dia in the first round. Now, when you look at Mario Pudzianowski in his career, he has some of the most brutal hooks I've ever seen from an MMA fighter. Like I watched, I watched four fights of his. I watched his last two, and then I believe it was the start of the streak that he was on before getting knocked out. Man, this guy has some of the cleanest hooks I've ever seen. Obviously, we know he's strong, but his hooks, they are fast, they're mean, ground and pound too. He has some of the most lethal ground and pound I've ever seen from from any fighter, really. But the TKO loss, second round, June 3rd. So what would that be? That would be just under 2 years of him suffering a knockout. A lot of time has passed, but now he's older. Again, the age 48 is going to stick, but you cannot knock out his ability. Um, no pun intended. But I know I should stop being cringe for whatever. So keys to victory. I say he needs to win the grappling exchanges. I feel like he is. He's not a high level grappler, but he can grapple. but he is pretty good. I feel like if he's able to wear Eddie Hall down, get him into the clinches, and land the hooks, again, I cannot stress enough, this guy's hooks are brutal. And overall, I think making it a dirty fight is the way for Mariusz Pudzianowski to win this. Again, man, we have a lot of questions here. Nearly 50 years old, coming out for multiple knockout losses. It's not a good look. But again, I'm not sure if this is pro or X. I think it's pro, actually. Again, this is a spectacle. It's not meant for, the actual sport. Moving on to Eddie Hall, one time world strongest man, won all of the titles in UK and Europe and all of that. Now, he ragdolled the Nefrati brothers, got killed by Halfthor Bjornsson. He did really good in that Bjornsson fight, though. I must say, I rewatched that yesterday, and I thought he was doing really good in the first few rounds. It was just, the size and durability of Halfthor. I didn't like his chances going into it, but he did have a good showing there. But you gotta talk about this, though. The way he First of all, I have no idea who made this fight, but watching this fight, dude, was like watching a father ragdoll his kids. It was brutal, man. Um, the way it ended with him basically picking him up like he was a 5-year-old, slamming him down, and then he knocked out this guy with a slap. One of the funniest fights I've ever watched, but again, I have no idea who the hell sanctioned this fight. But overall, I think I have more photos. Like I think that having this fight, it really doesn't help him much. One, both of these guys were apparently 170. I thought they were bantamweights, but they were 170, and they said it was closer to Eddie's weight. I think they outweighed him slightly, but again, this fight was just meant for one thing. So when I look at his keys to victory, he needs to be the faster fighter, which I believe he can be. We know that Eddie Hall has cardio. We know the kind of training that he is used to. I think he needs to use his size, having the height advantage, being the bigger guy, and training with Tom Arsenal. He's been training with Tom Arsenal ahead of this fight. He said that on Ariel Hawani, and overall, I think it established the job. When I was looking at the half the more boxing match, he was doing a good job at trying to throw the jab out there. I just hated how he was doing it. I hated how he was, instead of protecting his head, he was leaning out very wide, which I felt was one of the things that Halfthor picked up on that led to the knockout. But I mean, overall, I think he has a really good chance to win. Now, let's talk about this. When I look at this fight, I your mind is like, okay, Marie says he has skill, he has experience, but again, being 48, being knocked out in your last two outings, it's not a good look. And I mean, Eddie Hall, I think he's 37, right? That's, around prime years for people, especially his size. You look at, MMA today, John Jones is a champ at 37. But, all in all, I think that Eddie Hall wins this season. Wait, I just noticed that there's a watermark on this picture. Whatever. I think Eddie Hall wins it quickly. I give him a 70% chance to win this fight. And really, I think that Maurice's only way to win this is by outskilling him. And if Eddie Hall doesn't show any improvement from training with Arsenal, but like you're younger by 11 years. You're training with the interim heavyweight champion, potentially the unified heavyweight champion later this year, hopefully. But ultimately, I see Eddie Hall winning this, and this would have been cool maybe, you know, 8 years ago. But both of them had no or Eddie Hall at least had no interest in competing in MMA. He was competing in the World's Strongest Man. But that's basically my first thoughts on this fight. We will have to see what the build up is like to this fight. I'm gonna try and watch this live. I don't know how I will be able to do that. I will have to find a way, probably through a mysterious link. But I mean, this this is interesting. It's an interesting topic. You know, you have two world strongest men winners going into a cage and beating the hell out of each other. But let me know, what do you think about this fight? What are your thoughts going into this fight? And who do you think will win? I'm interested to hear what you have to say in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. Later.